Confident people are the ones who tend to get everything they want out of life, not only because they can influence their own internal states and always be motivated for the right things and go after what they truly desire, but also because people tend to trust them much more. When you are truly confident, people trust you and obey what you command them to do much more easily. But usually when people start with NLP, personal development, meditation practices, anything like that, or like any sort of change, personal change they want to go through, they usually consume a lot of information, books, they read material, they watch video courses, but they are very unsure of themselves and they keep in the back of their mind, someday maybe I will do this, or like they try one time, don't get the results, and then they stop. I'm probably not teaching you anything here, you already know what it looks like. People usually don't take action, they just over complexify and over theorize, maybe I should do this, maybe I should do that, but they never really follow one path clearly, or they are not consistent into it. They might think it is always for others, maybe just like, oh, if I was born like that person, I would be able to do it. Or if I was born rich, or if I was born athletic, or if I was born musical with talents, I could do this, but I'm not, so it's impossible. Or they have this illusion. They start with some extremely big achievements they want to go after, but they are putting the bar way too high, and then they stop after just a few attempts because they are like, the gap between what they have just done in the last 2 months and what they see, what they thought that they would be at after just a few months, is so far away that they just lose trust in themselves and lose self-esteem and lose confidence in being able to achieve what they wanted. Basically, people set goals for their external circumstances, external environment, or external metrics like money, people you meet, weight loss like the kilos, calories, but it is never really influencing their internal states, how they feel. However, the paradox about this, if you think about it for a minute, is that you want all those things from the outside in order to change how you feel right now. So in the end, why not starting the other way around? And that was one of my biggest shifts and one of my biggest breakthroughs in the world of personal development, self-change, anything related with influencing your life for a better future. Because right now, I'm always consistent. In everything I do, you can ask me anything. If it is something I'm motivated about, I can last 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, no problem. I'm never stopping anything. The only thing I need is one direction. Sometimes I may struggle with clarity when we advance in life, like it happened to me about 1 year ago. It may be tough to still understand I have achieved so many things and what is the next step exactly, because I'm not really sure anymore what is the next thing to go after or pursue, and should I not settle with what I have. Those things can happen, the lack of clarity. However, as soon as I am clear on something I need, there is nothing that can stop me. I will just go after it relentlessly, and I'm never stopping until I get it. But I don't have less self-doubt or less insecurities than you have. Maybe at the level I am at right now, I have less than you, depending on where you are, eventually. But when I started, there was a point where I was exactly where you are right now. It did happen. So from the solutions I have found out to change this problem of always setting the bar on external things that you just feel discouraged about because you're not getting them, I really found a lot of methods to influence how I feel right now, changing my limitations right now, so that I start feeling like I have already achieved this one thing or whatever, and then I just figure out the solutions much more easily, and I go after what I want and crush all the limiting beliefs or negative states much more easily. One thing I do, for example, is really going deeper in trance, way deeper, and questioning my unconscious mind to notice what are the limiting beliefs I am not seeing. Because the worst limiting beliefs in yourself right now are usually the ones you're not seeing. So trying to change your beliefs one by one, yeah, that does happen once you have clarity, but how to get that damn clarity, that is where people get stuck usually. Another big shift is I am only looking now at what is achievable right now, and that is extremely affected by how you feel in the present, because if you feel like shit right now, the only things you are going to see is either what is completely impossible, or you are going to see something that is 10 years ahead in the future and feel discouraged. However, if you can influence how you feel right now and feel much more assertive and proud of where you are right now and more motivated about your current situation, then your brain is going to generate something that matches the interior, something that matches how you feel. And you are going to notice about the situations around you. Oh, actually, I could do this. And oh, this person, I could talk to that person. And you're just going to notice so many more things that are achievable from your current environment. Another one is I am amplifying resources, because we tend to always think, especially in the Western society, about removing problems, problem solving, crushing barriers. Yes, but in my opinion, it's only half of the matter. The other half is amplify, build up what is positive. Don't just fix what is worse, bad and negative, also build up and amplify what is positive. And there are many ways to do that with some modalities, anchoring all those precious tools. And for you right now, I have developed a 7-day method to teach you all of those things and to make you crush your barriers on one side and build up more positive resources for your daily life whenever you will need them. The idea is to take your mind through different directions. So some days will be focusing on removing all the limiting beliefs, negative states, pinpointing what are the negative things you say to yourself that can be reframed, and other days will be much more focused on what has been positive, for example, in your past, and how can you use some modalities and conditioning to bring it back into the present. So if you have felt totally motivated at some point in your past when you were feeling great and proud of where you are, how can we take that resource and plant it into your present so that you start amplifying those positive feelings in your day-to-day conversations, situations, in your work. If you want to change your career, make it better, it starts with how you feel right now about the things you have to do now. Either because it is draining and you want to get out of it, but if you want to get out of pain, it's going to require a lot of motivation and courage. And if you are just at an okay situation, but not great, like you have a stable financial situation, for example, but you're not really proud of it, or you're feeling bored, then it's going to require a lot more of positive assertiveness about where you are and what you can accomplish. One big thing also is to set the bar on the stress level you need, because too low stress is just making life boring and not really anything entertaining, and putting the bar too high is discouraging yourself, because let's be honest, you're procrastinating if you're putting the bar too high. So how to set exactly the right level of difficult challenge, not too much but not too low neither. That is contained in day one. First day we start there, then every day a new mission, a new thing. None of those missions, assignments will require you to put yourself through intense challenges. It's pretty easy. It is just mind tools I have been using for the past 10 years that got me where I am today. Those 7 days will be exactly as if I was over your shoulder telling you exactly what to do, what to pinpoint in your current environment and situation, and how to boost that self-confidence, those resourceful states, so that you can get in state every time you need it, every time you need them. And one big thing about anchoring, for example, because people always ask about this, well, how do I set anchors, what are the good anchors? And quite often the way it is taught in NLP trainings is not as effective when it comes to your personal change. It can be effective when you have a client in therapy or coaching, but it is not as effective when you have to use it on yourself. So I have been designing in this program exactly the right method to set anchors on yourself for yourself, and more importantly, how to anchor feelings to certain situations so that you don't need anymore to trigger and fire the anchor every time, because the same thing is going to be draining if you do that. You're going to be bored of always doing the same thing. However, you can also anchor some feeling to a situation so that every time you get back into this situation, the situation itself, or the laptop, for example, if you have to work on your laptop or anything, those things by themselves are going to become your anchor, and you won't need to think about it. So you will be in the right state every time you need to accomplish the challenge that is really bothering you. You will find yourself much more consistent, because those 7 days, those 7 tools can be used every day. Like, you just need to take the one that really fires your mind the most and you use it every day after the program. That's basically how it works. And the end goal of all of that is to just keep that juicy sense of life, to just go after what you want in a juicy way and not in a drained and, oh, I still have to do this, it's so draining, it's so boring, or like you feel discouraged. We want to get out of that once and for all, and you have some sense of assertiveness and you stay consistent on the goals you have been setting that you haven't been following through the whole time. Now is the time to change. You have the program down below and you can join it anytime you want. Boom, 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 chicka boom, 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 boom.